Meanwhile, the appearance in court of two Senate leaders on Governor Mike Sonko's legal team no doubt stirred debate on conflict of interest on the part of the legislators who expected in law to keep governors in check. The Senate's leadership has now been challenged to pronounce itself on the issue of its members representing county leaders in court, especially on matters touching on corruption and economic crimes. NTV's Brenda Wanga reports.
When Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko took plea in the anti-corruption court, he was flanked by a battery of lawyers. But the presence of leader of majority in the Senate, Kipchumba Murkomen, and the minority whip Mutula Kilonzo raised eyebrows. The two, apart from being leaders in the Senate, are still practicing lawyers.
Members of the LSK, they are entitled to represent their clients. But once they make the decision to represent their clients, then there is a presumption that they have entered into an advocate-client relationship.
While that holds true, the choice of their clients is what has many concerned.
If you're a state officer, gainful employment includes those responsibilities that are inherently incompatible with your duties as a public officer. I cannot again imagine a duty that's more inherently incompatible with that of a state officer than a state officer who sits in an oversight responsibility going to represent a person who is charged with a matter that over which they would carry out oversight responsibilities.
Are these particular lawyers, who are also senators, able then to deliberate on those matters that involves their client as impartial senators?
The issue of conflict of interest has been a major point of discussion, not just in the case of the Nairobi governor and the senators, but also in previous cases where senators who are advocates have continued to practice law privately. For instance, James Orengo is a lawyer on record for Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu. He has also represented Busia Governor Sospita Ojamong in his corruption case.
In this case, there clearly is likely to be a conflict, and I think there's going to have to be a very serious conversation, probably within the Senate, as to whether these particular senators are able to participate in those debates when they have taken on the role of being the advocates.
The Senate leadership now finds itself in the eye of this storm as the public looks towards it to pronounce itself on the thorny issue that is unlikely to be swept under the carpet.
I think there's a place to take this issue further. I think it court and ask the question whether in those circumstances the right to legal representation can be trumped by other provisions of the Constitution. I think it's a matter that requires determination. By the way, even by the Senate itself, and if the Senate does not make a decision that is consistent with the Constitution, I think it's a matter that requires direction of the court.
Brenda Wanga, NTV.